Life for the average man is going to get harder and harder. It's becoming more and more competitive. You need to find more and more ways to stand out and be unique. And the only way to really do those things, unfortunately, as a man, is to suffer. So many men say, I want to be the man, but they don't want to suffer. They don't want to fight. And I don't understand why, because even if you look at a superhero movie, they tell you, even in superhero movies, they make it very clear. Batman's parents died. That's why he's Batman. All the bad things have to happen. There's no way to get there without the bad things. I get so many emails from people complaining about their bad things, and I don't have time to reply to any of them, but if I could, I'd say good. Good luck, congratulations, off you go. Of course she broke your heart. Of course you're sad, of course you miss her. She's with me now. That's life. That's part of it. That's the only way you're gonna get to that level of resilience. You can't become the man any other way. So yeah, I thank God for everything bad that's ever happened to me and all the demons, and I trust that he's not going to give me anything I cannot, in the end, decipher and deal with. In the end, I think it's a puzzle, and you decipher it, and you work out the best way to deal with it, and you internalize the good parts, and you become a better and stronger and more resilient person for it. So I have to thank God for every single one of them.
Living this great life, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, but deep inside, when you look in the mirror at night, you know you are sad. And you are sad because your soul hurts, because you need God. When God becomes your ally, then no mortal man is worth fear or even respect. I will destroy any mortal man on the planet. I fear one person, and that is God alone. If you wake up each day and go, I don't owe anybody anything, I don't have to prove anything to anybody, then you are a loser, because you are absolutely not incorrect. You must prove yourself to other people. You must prove yourself to God. God hates the lazy. He can't stand them. If he gives you all these genetic dispositions and these natural God-given gifts, if you have 2 arms and 2 legs and you can think, and you're not trying your absolute best, that's the reason you're not lucky. He doesn't like you. He likes the people which show him the beauty of his own creation. He likes to give somebody building blocks and them to build something amazing. It's the best thing about being a man. You get to build who you are, right? You can decide if you want to be a funny comedian or a musician or a kickboxing world champion or fight the Matrix. You can decide whatever you want to be.
The world is hyper competitive. If you're going to be a man who's going to sit and say, I'm just sad, you are always going to lose in competition to men like me. No. And there has to be losers for there to be winners. I am tired of sympathy. Sympathy doesn't work for anybody. I'm not going to sit here and be sympathetic for people who say they're too sad to try hard and be their best. Guess what? Perhaps I was sad every time I did exactly what I was supposed to do and trained anyway. Perhaps I was afraid when I fought anyway. Perhaps I was tired when I worked anyway. This is how you get ahead in life. I don't have a fucking ounce of sympathy for these people who sit here and say, well, I feel this way, so I can't. Then don't do it. Stay down there. The winners are at the top, and the winners at the top don't give a shit about how they feel. We wake up and we perform regardless of how we feel day after day. So if I'm going to ignore my own feelings, I'm certainly not going to take into consideration anybody else's. Yeah. Why am I going to ignore how I feel and make sure I'm constantly performing regardless, flawlessly, and then sit and go, oh, but he doesn't feel good, so he's allowed to fuck up. No, you are not. You're not allowed to fuck up to your ancestors or to God or to yourself. You have to perform. This is what being a man is about. The baseline of masculinity is doing things you don't feel like doing. I can't comment on being a woman because I'm not one. But the baseline of masculinity as a whole is the thing that makes a good man a man is that he does what he doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to work and he works anyway. He doesn't want to go to war and he fights anyway. He doesn't want to get up, he gets up anyway. That's the whole point of it. We didn't want to die in the Titanic. Guess what happened? We died in the Titanic. You can't sit there as a man and say you don't feel like it. You're not allowed to not feel like it. You're supposed to do it anyway, regardless. Yeah. So when a man sits there and says, oh, but you don't understand, I'm struggling with motivation. If you are struggling with the motivation to be a winner, then stay a fucking loser. No problem. Stay a loser. Don't care. Because in my circle, there's no losers around me. Your energy is disgusting. I find it revolting. I don't like weakness around me, even near me. Even people coming up saying hello to me. If you're depressed, don't even shake my hand. I do not have time for losers on any regard. Winners only. If you're the person who wakes up, does work, is fantastic at it, and then takes 3 days off, you're going to lose. They say that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. That is completely true. You have to be consistent. You have to decide. Are you the kind of person who wants to make a lot of money in this life and live a life of freedom? Or are you the kind of person who wants to look back when he's 30 on his 20s or 40 on his 30s and look at that decade and go, what did I do with that decade? Well, I didn't get rich. I didn't travel the world and live like they do in Tape Confidential. What did I do? Well, I had a day off here, a day off there, a bunch of nothing days that amalgamate into this decade of nothingness, and you're just wasting your time. If you want to win, you need to be consistent. You don't need to be the smartest, not at all, but you have to be the guy who's there day after day. And I will guarantee you right now, IQ has nothing to do with how successful you'll be as a person.
What is going to determine how successful you're going to be is, are you there every single day? Are you doing what you're supposed to do day after day? I can also apply this to sales. I knew guys who were terrible on the phone. Back in my day on sales, you used to have to call companies. I was smooth, I was the best. We had some other guys who were smooth. They'd land a deal, go buy a nice car, whatever, take a few days off, take it easy. We had people who were terrible. When I say terrible, I mean they had a thick Indian accent, didn't speak English that well, didn't know the script that well, didn't know the answers, but they were always in the top 20% of the company because they just hammered the phone. They just were on it. They needed to feed their family in Bangladesh. They didn't give a fuck. They were just calling. That's it, day after day. When you're on lunch break, he's on the phone. You can win with hard work alone. And that's what's amazing about the universe when I say that. God will give you anything you truly want. If you truly want money and you truly try hard, you truly listen to us, you are going to have as much money as you could possibly ever desire. But if you think you want money, but you kind of want something else, or if you're arrogant, or if you're lazy, you're going to end up somewhere in the middle if you're lucky and talented. And if you're not talented, you're going to end up in the bottom.
I'm being asked the same question repeatedly, and people don't like my answer. Because usually people come to me as a bastion of knowledge. They come to me for very simple, concise, compendious answers to the world's problems. We have this extremely complicated problem that no one else can solve. Let's go to Tate, and he'll fix it in less than a sentence, because I'm the greatest human alive. And I'm doing that, but people aren't seeming to understand my answer. So let me explain it to you. The question I'm being asked is, different versions of, what would you do in this scenario? The guy choking the guy on the subway. Would you have choked him? How long would you have choked him for? Or some other video of some fight on a plane. What would you have done, Andrew? What's the right thing to do? I get thousands of emails about this, about road rage fights, fights in gas stations, all this shit. Without going into specifics, it's actually quite a difficult question to answer. If I was on that subway and that guy was being a dickhead, I would try my very best to ignore him. I wouldn't want to be a superhero because I understand that in New York, the government, who I pay taxes to, will destroy my life and lock me away for trying to protect other New Yorkers. So I would sit there and just think, fuck it. But if it got to a point where he attacked me or attacked an old lady or something which I really believed I truly had to intervene, I would have hit him, likely. I wouldn't have choked him for 10, 15 minutes. I would have hit him probably once, knocked him out.
Oh, this kid is dangerous! Like his style or not, he will knock you out!
Well, who says that wouldn't have killed him? All I know is Dimmock. All I know is the moral touch. You know, if I hit somebody, they're in big trouble. It ain't some fucking dumb shit. Everyone I've ever hit has had serious damage. If I hit some fucking chump, he might be done. I don't know how to throw half a punch. So all these scenarios are difficult, right? People are asking me, Tate, what would you do here? What would you do there? And I'm trying to explain all the nuance of it. But truthfully, there's a simple answer. And the simple answer I give, because like I said, I like to be compendious. I want to give an answer in one sentence. I don't want to go through the specifics of each scenario. Andrew, look at this road rage event. Specifically, would you have hit him? How hard would you have hit him? Would you have held the choke for this long? Blah, 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 blah. All of these situations are brokey situations. So I explain to people, the simple answer is don't be poor. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean, what do I mean? Why the fuck are you on a subway? Well, to get to work, because you're broke. Subways are for brokies. The world has now changed. You can no longer safely be a brokey. You could have been a brokey in the 1960s and lived a safe, relatively calm, normal life. But if you're no longer rich, it's not just about the fact that I get to wear diamond watches and drive all these supercars and fly on private jets. It's about the fact that I get to avoid 99.9% of dumb shit. Dumb shit in which I'm in a scenario where there's no easy answer. Both moves I make are wrong. Do I go to jail? Do I let this guy punch this woman? Do I risk getting stabbed? Do I hit him first? All this shit is avoided when you're rich. You send me videos of some people fighting on a plane, and I'll send you back a video of me on a private jet. You send me videos of some bullshit on a subway, I'll remind you that I haven't ridden a subway in
in 10 years, and I'm never gonna ride a subway ever again for the rest of my fucking life. So I don't give a shit how many psychos are on the subway, whether they're Michael Jackson impersonators or drug addicts or Looney Tunes. I'm sure it's full of them. I will never encounter these people. I will never be in these scenarios. Ever. Ever. Someone comes to me and goes, what do I do on the subway? Don't ride the subway. Get rich. Oh yeah, but. The world has changed to the point where being rich is no longer just about material possessions. It is a necessity. It is vital for survival. It is literally vital for you to live a calm and balanced, nice, peaceful life, for you to be a person who has a lot of money. Because the world's fucked. And as it continues to get more and more fucked, as people become more and more broke and more emotional and more upset and more divided, it's just going to get worse. Do you think the subway in 10 years from now is going to be a better place? Do you think there's going to be less psychos on the New York subway in 10 years from now or more? Think about that question and think about what's your plan to make sure you never have to ride the fucking subway again. You're showing me Delta Airlines and all these people fucking fighting like savages. It's $50 a ticket. What the fuck do you expect? Of course. Of course.
You cannot stop. You cannot give up. You need that momentum to break free. When a rocket is flying out towards the moon to escape the atmosphere, it doesn't fucking pause halfway up the sky, does it? No, it keeps going. You're in competition with the entire world. Everyone wants to escape. You cannot be lazy. You are the only person who can make this work, and you're also the only person who can fuck this up.